Today, University President Lawrence S. Bacow hit the 100-day mark of his presidency. As U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, an alum of both Harvard and the Crimson, proved, there's a lot you can get done in 100 days. So let's take a look at what Bacow has accomplished. He kicked off his presidency July 1st with a home-cooked meal hosted at the home of his predecessor, former University President Drew G. Faust. Soon after, Bacow jetted off to D.C. to continue Faust's tradition of lobbying lawmakers in favor of Harvard priorities and to connect with students and alumni in the nation's capital. While in D.C., Bacow met with legislators to discuss the most pressing issues facing Harvard and higher education today, not neglecting to mention the antipathy towards elite universities currently sweeping the country. He spoke to prominent legislators on both sides of the aisle, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and Republican Senator Mike Crapo. Other topics of conversation included the Republicans' unprecedented tax on the university's endowment returns, concerns over the future of deferred action for childhood arrivals and temporary protected status recipients on Harvard's campus, and federal research funding. After wrapping up his duties in D.C., Bacow returned to his childhood home, Pontiac, Michigan, to speak about the merits of continuing education and to describe Harvard's generous financial aid program to low-income students.
But Bacow isn't doing all of his lobbying off campus. He's also advocating for issues he cares about back in Cambridge. The impending tax on Harvard's endowment returns, which could cost Harvard millions annually, has sparked concerns about budget cuts. Bacow acknowledged last month that there will be belt-tightening, but he made it clear there's at least one program that won't see any cuts. In a recent interview, he said, "The last thing I would do is cut financial aid." Bacow has also worked to address faculty and student concerns over the Trump administration's attempts to roll back DACA and TPS protections. A few weeks ago, he met with 8 students, staff, and faculty to discuss how Harvard can best support its undocumented population, which in 2017 numbered at least 65 individuals. Harvard affiliates, especially members of advocacy groups such as Act on a Dream and the Harvard TPS Coalition, have called on the university to provide increased mental health support to those impacted by Trump's policies and to bolster its legal support resources. Bacow said he thinks we have a moral responsibility to try and be responsive to the needs of those who are most vulnerable. And there's still more on the president's plate. Next week, a lawsuit alleging Harvard discriminates against Asian American applicants will go to trial in a high-stakes showdown in a Boston courthouse. The university has repeatedly denied all charges of discrimination, denials Bacow echoed in a recent interview. Bacow has said he believes Harvard will prevail in the district court trial, but he admitted the real issue will come if the suit reaches the Supreme Court, as some experts have predicted it will. If it comes before the nation's highest court, and if the court rules against Harvard, it could be the end of affirmative action as we know it in the United States.
In addition to the suit, Bacow has also inherited the college's controversial sanctions penalizing members of single-gender campus social groups. In his first full interview with the Crimson, Bacow spoke in favor of the sanctions, asserting that they are here to stay. So far, the policy, which Bacow said is meant to end gender discrimination on Harvard's campus, has had a disproportionate impact on the school's all-female social groups, which have all committed to going gender-neutral in alignment with the policy. Many male groups, however, remain resistant, and some are taking the fight against the sanctions to Capitol Hill, where they are lobbying lawmakers to cancel the penalties. Bacow said those who dislike the sanctions shouldn't apply to Harvard. He told the Crimson, "Nobody puts a gun to anybody's head and says you have to come here." He said the policy reflects the college's values of inclusion and belonging, and Harvard hopefuls should embrace those values before committing.
So yes, Bacow's been busy, but that doesn't mean he hasn't found time to let loose. He's popped up at several different student events in recent weeks. Bacow helped students carry boxes during freshman move-in and has been spotted eating dinner in various undergraduate dining halls. He said, "One of the things that's been fabulous about spending my entire adult life on a college campus is it's one of the few places where you can work where you get older but the people around you stay the same age, and it keeps you young." His latest social appearance came at his own inauguration Friday, where he was installed formally as the university's 29th leader. In his speech, he said, "I'm thankful for this opportunity to lead Harvard, which makes me better and makes everyone here better."
I'm Christine.
And I'm Jamie, and we're the Crimson Central Administration team.
Keep an eye out as we continue to report on Bacow's first year on the job, and thanks for watching!